Hey everyone, today we are here at the Tocumwal Air Show. Tocumwal Air Show. Thanks for the reminder. We have quite a few aircraft here today, quite a lot actually.
Yeah.
We have Marine Spitfires, a Lockheed Hudson, etc. We'll see those very soon. They also have a helicopter here. So yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit. Yes, in case you're wondering, I am flying in a Robinson R44 today. That is an acrobat plane.
He's crazy.
That's near the beach. That sounds more like a B-21.
You want to go stand over there? I'll keep our place if you want to film me.
No, it's alright. That was a good shot, damn.
Incredible rate of roll, 380 degrees per second. So every second it does more in the air. This is the best tail that have ever been built of this lovely stroke. This is number one on the production line. This is a very, very highly modified
Special 502.
What's up?
This is actually a 502 XP, which is a larger engine, and it has a different type of tail on it. The different numbers for these aircraft actually refer to the number of gallons of fluid that they can carry. So a 502, 500 gallons. Now, a lot of the air tractors, particularly what they call the Fire Boss, is fitted with twin floats, and they can actually land on water, and as they are running across the water, pick up fluid. It goes into the hopper tanks, and they can use that to dump. Quite a number of these aircraft have actually flown from Australia to Greece to fly in their fire season. Very typical, I'll call it crop dusting run. All of their runs with some of these huge fields that are here in Australia. Four of these aircraft currently operating in Australia, and you can see that very, very high lift that they can put out.
It's actually a different one than what we saw last time.
Is it?
Remember, it doesn't have the same amount of blades.
That's right.
But I'm going to be interested to see what that guy's going to do, what they're going to do with this thing. What is that thing?
We'll go look, they've got a board outside.
Yeah.
Incredible thing about
See, say the name of the aircraft there.
particularly the engine.
See there. Do we?
When it's flying the aircraft, obviously all the systems are working and talking to each other in the engine. But when the aircraft actually finishes flying, when the aircraft shuts down and the temperature drops below 100 degrees, they don't just like them, they like panic, many of you know. As wooden main spars, they are the main structural member of the wing, and wooden ribs to give them the shape, and the fabric is over the top of that as well. A single 130 horsepower de Havilland Gypsy's Major engine, 4-cylinder, air-cooled, inline. Very, very simple. This is the third aircraft in the de Havilland stable to carry the name Tocumwal. You can see how the wings are slightly pushed back. This is because the RAF wanted the trainer, and the Gypsy Moth, or the DH-60, its wings were vertical and they were fantastic. So it made it difficult to get in and out of the wing. So what they did is they stacked the wing forward, and then had to push them back to keep the air on that natural show. Fuel system, you have a tank that's situated between the top two wings. You don't have a fuel gauge like you have in a car. There is a little capillary tube that sticks out of the top of that fuel tank, and it has a float in there telling you how many gallons you have left. Lovely demonstration. Starting in 1948, the Royal Air Force started receiving deliveries of chipmunks as different marks, the T Mark 10, 20, 21, etc. And they served with RAF Reserve Flying Squadrons, Volunteer Reserve and University Air Squadrons to promote aviation. A lot of those University Air Squadron aircraft were disposed of and came out to Australia, still wearing their original markings. RAF received 735 of these machines to act in the basic flying training role. His Royal Highness, the late Prince Philip, actually got his wings on a chipmunk, and that aircraft still flies in New Zealand, owned by Bevan Dewes. These are also used by the British Army Air Corps and the Fleet Air Arm. And in 1956, the last chipmunk.
So this is one of the portaloos here. So you've got water. Awesome. Then here's the toilet. Got your mirror here, as you can see. And yeah, so that's the toilet, so I'll see you guys in a bit. Yeah.
Very highly experienced pilot with the Royal New Zealand Air Force, was also seconded to fly with the RAF and flying with the RAA.
Well, guess these three big guys there are going to be so damn loud.
Easy will head out to the north or go around the hat. Right. And now virtually overhead.
Yeah, I can't really see him too good.
No, it's too high. Hopefully it'll come down lower again.
We've got a perfect spot here.
And certainly has a bit of smash on right now. You can hear that whistle from the supercharger there. Bit of serendipity involved in the design of this aircraft. With the outbreak of war looming, the British and the French went to the United States looking for aircraft that could be built over there to keep out of the range of the Luftwaffe bombers. The purchasing commission for Britain went to North American Aviation and asked them would they be willing to license manufacture the Curtiss P-40 kitty ball, one of which we'll see here later on today. And the chief designer and the to have a bubble canopy, and that's what you see here. The major production version, the P51D. The B model, 650 caliber machine guns, could carry a 1,000-pound bomb on each side, or drop tanks, or a combination of drop tanks, bombs, and air-to-ground rockets mounted under the wing. Could carry up to 10 of those rockets if there was no bombs or fuel tank. One of the design features of the aircraft was a wing, quite radical, a laminar flow wing. And that wing was designed such that the turbulence created by the air flowing over the wing didn't actually start until the last third of the wing. So that gave it better performance, better higher speed. And the choice of less.
You want to go move forward?
No, I can see them. I see them.
Getting a little bit hungry. We have plenty of food outlets here. Duck pancakes, Biggie's ice cream, Mr. ice cream and Gates's ice cream. So we are covered with ice cream. Smoked fish. Oh boy, it's a food truck. Jess's Kitchen, Max's Barbecue and dumplings as well, plus wood. Taxiing for takeoff. They're going to be heading out to a northern home area. And then they'll be returning for the display.
Takeoff sequence in the Mustang check his time. He's going to climb to a height around 5,000 feet today. He's going to double check his engine checks, double check his harnesses. He'll reposition. This is a spiral dive. Now during this spiral dive, Paul's going to reach speeds of over 400 kilometres an hour. guys of Tocumwal, please welcome Paul Bennett and the Woodpits Pro. So that manoeuvre is known as the centre view. Paul's going to reposition it air show left by pulling vertical. He'll do a half roll right, followed by 1.5 vertical rolls left. At the top of the vertical, he'll roll over the top and sit up for the inside diving snap roll.
No, forget it.
Back at air show centre, he's going to pull up for a 540. Snap rolls left. And set up for a manoeuvre that's considered impossible by any aircraft. He's going to attempt a full forward flip in the Woodpits Pro. Now Paul's actually pushing forward on the stick with a negative G. So during this display of Paul experience upwards of 10 Gs, does it? 7 Gs. Now pulling vertical again at air show centre, finishing the shoulder roll. He's going to stop the aircraft perfectly vertical and put it in hard left rudder. He's going to turn around not once, but twice, even known as the double hammerhead. So negative Gs is where the aircraft is actually trying to throw Paul from the cockpit. So to stay one with him. Ladies and gentlemen, you hear Paul scream out loud, and that's not because the G-force is hurting, that's actually tightening the muscles in his neck. So it stops the blood from rushing away from the brain quick enough, so it keeps his vision a little bit. You can see you from the cockpit during this manoeuvre. Paul is quite famous for having a motorbike backflip over the top of him while performing his side flip. So Paul opens the throttle up again, he's repositioning for his landing sequence. So he'll reposition him back on the deck at speeds of over 300 kilometers an hour. So Paul just inspected the runway, so now he's going to pull vertical again and do a few point rolls on the vertical up. Touches down on runway 36. Hope you've enjoyed his solo display. Paul will be Shortly, as part of the Sky Aces aerobatic team, displaying a not to be missed with the Wolf Kids and the Zipco Edge 540.
That was fantastic.
Back to you, Ian.
Thanks very much, Glenn.
Kitty Hawk
And
right there,
ladies
both
and
of us.
gentlemen, put your hands together for Glenn Graham for that great commentary on the Wolf Buds or the Wood Fired Pizza, and get yourself something. And watch while the heritage trainers come in. The CAC Windjill and the mighty plastic parrot.
It's amazing when you see them in a flock like that, don't you?
Heritage trainers were formed to showcase two of the classic trainer aircraft used by the Royal Australian Air Force. This engine was called the Cicada. When they found that the specific fuel consumption was a bit high, it weighed a little bit more than a contemporary engine, so they swapped that over to the Pratt & Whitney R985. Now, Americans have very simple designations for their engines. If I said to you a Rolls-Royce Merlin, if you didn't know what it was, then you'd find difficulty in describing it. But the R985 is a radial engine. The cylinders... Now, if the aircraft could not be spun, you couldn't do that training regime. So what they had to do was to move the entire vertical fin and rudder further forward so that the aircraft could be spun. Very rugged machine, very, very reliable. Use of those that would drop smoke grenades.
Let's just start these two.
This was part of the training for air controllers so they could mark their targets. Operated with full flight at Williamtown,
Next after these
north
two.
of Newcastle in that role.
What do you think?
And equipped number 76 Squadron in an expand out of the philosophy of the Victor Air Tourer. And yes, Victor is that same company that manufactured your lawnmower and still does. They had produced the light two-seat aircraft as a touring machine to be produced here in Australia, and it actually incorporated quite a few. We have an American marked Mustang by Doug Hamilton, by Morris Becker. About that landscape.
That wasn't actually too bad. You think they would be much more louder because they're older, hey?
All those aircraft that we've just seen take off look very similar apart from their colours, but there are huge differences between the Commonwealth Aircraft Corporation built Wirraway and the North American Aviation built T6, or Harvard as it was known to the Commonwealth countries. If you look off to your right, you can see the rest of that heritage trainer formation coming in. And they will do a pitch, and then we will have the CAC wind drill flown today by Matt Henderson. Here, Kaz, his lovely wife, organised this whole weekend. And as we heard from Donna this morning from Edge FM in Wangaratta, they are sponsoring a flight in this wind drill this afternoon. The wind drill that you're about to see do a solo demonstration. It doesn't cost you anything to sign up. Please do down there at the Edge FM tent. And you too can be going to a flight in the wind drill at the time. On the wingtips, tail and the nose. And originally that was fluorescent colour. But operators today, very difficult to keep that fluoro orange intact at bad UV weathers. So they've adopted international orange, and it was Those of you who observed the takeoff would have heard there is a definite sound difference between the two, even though that they've got the same 600 horsepower. The yellow aircraft in the lead, it has basically direct drive, two-bladed propeller, whereas the Wirraway has geared with the RAAF, and then it is now housed in the Australian War Memorial, painted in the margins after it shot down that aircraft. The aircraft operated by number 5 Squadron and number 4 Squadron were also used to drop supplies to troops on the ground, whether they be medical supplies, food, ammunition, rifles.
Probably get a better glimpse of him when he goes over the runway.
Wow.
What do you think? Probably get a better glimpse when he goes over the runway. Because he's gonna fly over the runway.
P-40, the Kitty Hawk,
yeah.
the Warhawk, whatever name you'd like to use, and in its early stages the Tomahawk was actually the aircraft that formed the backbone of the Allied efforts during the early and middle part of the Second World War. It was produced all the way through the war years, despite those of you who observed the takeoff would have heard there is a definite sound difference between the two, even though that they've got the same 600 horsepower. Basically direct drive, two-bladed propeller, whereas the Wirraway has geared with the RAAF, and then it is now housed in the Australian War Memorial, painted in the margins after it shot down that aircraft. The aircraft operated by number 5 Squadron and number 4 Squadron were also used to drop supplies to troops on the ground, whether they be medical supplies, food, ammunition, rifles.
Probably get a better glimpse of him when he goes over the runway. What do you think? Probably get a better glimpse when he goes over the runway. Because he's gonna fly over the runway.
P-40, the Kitty Hawk,
yeah.
the Warhawk, whatever name you'd like to use, and in its early stages the Tomahawk was actually the aircraft that formed the backbone of the Allied efforts during the early and middle part of the Second World War. It was produced all the way through the war years, despite it was fitted with a radial engine. You could get that aeroplane either to fix or a retractable undercarriage. The radial engine at that time was the same as fitted with the Douglas DC-3. But when the Allison V12 engine came out, the V1710, V-block, 1710 cubic inches, they decided in the early parts of the Pacific War, but earlier than that, in the Western Desert and in the areas of the Levant, where the Vichy French were. Pilots such as Louis Truscott, Robert de Haven, Clive Caldwell, all became aces on the P-40 through their various marks, and Clive Caldwell, the Australian pilot, he unbelievable punishment.
That's one of the planes we saw last air show.
Aircraft that was an RAAF machine, and it had the name Svengali, the magician, on the nose, and it was certainly a magician that was looking after it that day, because it
the wing, he lost a foot of his wing and he's still 300 miles back to base.
Part of the campaign, right the way through. You'll see the famous shark mouth there on the nose. That shark mouth was actually on the British aircraft, 112 Squadron. They adopted it. It wasn't the American AVG group that was first to use it on an Allied machine. And because Clive Caldwell later at the end of our show, the Malmo, so certainly stick around for that. supercharger, and for its day it incorporated flaps, which most light aircraft did not do. They only built a couple before they decided to actually make it fully aerobatic. So the original ST for sport touring was changed to STA. I beg your pardon, flown today by Mick Poole. As the Avenger departs, certainly very ungainly on the ground, and definitely earned its nickname the Turkey, but up in the air it's a different thing. Mick just bringing the aircraft in now. These are more inspired to within, simply have problems
So he's got the American Air Force logo on it, on his wing.
Yeah.
See that?
The Avenger first flew in August 1941.
Well, there's the first flyby. We'll wait for the second one.
Powered by the 1900 horsepower Ryan 2600 engine. First real action was at the Battle of Midway between 4th to 7th of June 1940 career ground.
That was an excellent shot. Huh?
November 1942
What?
when Marine Corps and Navy CDS
The bomb doors were
sent the
open
battle
underneath.
to
He
Chiari
opened the
Wallace
bomb
Canal.
doors.
And
There's
they
no bomb
ranged
inside.
right away
But
across
to show where he would actually. So it's a bomber.
two forward firing 50 caliber machine guns in the wing. Now that was just the takeoff. Back on the knife edge and he'll pull up, and then they will actually start their display.
Very close, hey? Got a good view of the front of it too.
Yeah. Did you get the party trick?
Yeah.
And he gave you 100% 300 spin, 0 turn.
Here we go. It's amazing.
Pulling up now into what they call
Well,
a half Cuban.
Hope you guys enjoyed.
You know what you call that? Chicken.
I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.
And again, here's the head in a rolling pass. Incredible precision from these
Did you get
guys.
that on camera?
They have done this hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times and practiced it. Remember that the blue pilot, pulling up now into wing over. The aircraft on the inside has got to be playing with the throttle, maintaining that position to within an inch. And a formation barrel roll. That's exactly the path that you would see if those two aircraft were flying around on the inside of the barrel. Remember, they are so close together.